So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the A7IV, the Sony A7IV that I actually picked up yesterday at the camera store, and talk about why I bought this camera and why it's so important to me. All right, check it out. But before we begin, if you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing to stay up to date when I drop new videos every single week. But let's get right into this unboxing. So yesterday I had the sudden urge, not the sudden urge to buy this camera, but I was kind of on the fence on buying the A7IV for a couple different reasons. This is actually their latest full frame camera. This particular camera definitely checked a few bells for me when it came time for looking for a new camera. As far as this camera goes, why it's so important to me is that in terms of building out a YouTube studio, in terms of a YouTube career and content creation, I've always thought that two cameras is always better than one. So I thought having this would definitely up the value of my videos, and it actually does a few things that we're going to talk about throughout the unboxing. This is actually the second time that I've unboxed a camera, so I'm super excited to get this guy open. And let's see, we finally got it out. All right, so you do get the stuff that it comes with. You do get obviously some of the manuals that Sony actually has with it. And in this box right here, let's see, in this white little package is so it's a USB-A to USB-C, which is actually really nice. That's actually a pretty cool thing. I've always thought that it makes more sense to have things in little Ziploc bags or recyclable paper bags like this. I actually think it's really cool. You do get the standard Sony strap that comes in the box. And let's see, this is the little charging brick, the Sony charging brick. It's nice and cute. And in this little bag right here, you do get the actual battery. This is gonna sound silly, but this is another reason why I actually opted for this particular camera. If I'm ever using my A7S, I can just change out the battery from here and use the A7IV. I think it works really well in that tandem. Sometimes you buy cameras and they use different batteries, and that's kind of a pain. Now it's on to the big boy. This is it. And we're gonna pull this guy out of the bag. There it goes, guys. This right here is the Sony A7IV. Wow. So it's actually so cool that Sony, we'll put that box down for a second, that Sony came out with this camera when it did. I don't know if you guys checked out the news yesterday. They actually discontinued the A6600 and the A7C, I guess because of everything going on in the world. They decided to cancel the production of those two particular models, which will make this camera all the more reason to consider. With that said, I really wanted to get a second shooter. I'm so happy that Sony decided to drop this. I actually didn't think that I would get it in time. Around the body of the camera is clutch, man. The camera does have 2 card slots. On the back here, you do have your custom buttons. And what I love about this camera so much is that everything is very responsive. Like when I touch a button, it feels like a button. It doesn't feel suppressed. It doesn't feel like you're gonna push the button right into the camera. It's all raised really nicely. There is something different about the grip. There is definitely a difference in grip between my A7III and my A7IV. And let's see, why I haven't been able to just turn it on yet. So why don't we go put a battery in there? Let's go ahead and chug that battery in there. Another reason I bought this camera is because I hated having to figure out or changing certain settings when I'm in photo versus video mode. And what's great about this camera is the fact that it has this dial at the top here where you can just push down on the top, and it allows you to go from photo to video to S&Q mode, which is really clutch. And on the side, let's see, looking at the left side of the camera, you do have a full-size HDMI. You do have your, let's see, you've got your mic, you've got, what's in this little hole here? You got your headphone jack, which is great, and you got your Type-C and USB. You have your multi-USB, which is pretty awesome. Same battery. Again, it's gonna sound stupid. I bought this camera because I needed a second shooter. That's number one. I bought this camera because of the fact that they actually take the same battery. I like the fact that I can use both these cameras in tandem. And the third, which is actually a really big kicker for me, is the fact that this is sampling from a 7K sensor down to 4K. It does do 4K 60. The A7S does 4K 120. The dog's going off, so we gotta get this video done quick. And it's just like, it's just designed really, really, really well in my honest opinion. Now, the one thing that I would say which I wish that Sony would do more often is to actually put the naming convention of the Sony camera in front. A few weeks ago, I went out to the camera store and I picked this up. I didn't even know it was the A7IV. So I picked it up and I was like, wait, this camera just feels different. Just off the grip, I knew that the camera was different. And the guy was like, yeah, it should be different. It's actually the new camera. And that just kind of blew my wig for a second. But yeah, man, I cannot wait to try this camera out. Again, I think what I'm gonna do for the next video is swap this out, maybe use this one as my overhead and use this as my main camera to see the difference. Again, man, super excited to be trying out this camera for YouTube and cannot wait to see the results I get. Yeah, so that's pretty much the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave your comments down below. And as always, until my next video, peace.